Hi there and welcome to my Flosstube and welcome to my channel today. My name is Julie and I'm also known as Peachy Stitcher on here and also on Instagram. And I'd like to say welcome back. It's around a month since I last filmed a Flosstube, and prior to that I'd not filmed one for almost a year. I won't dwell on the whys and wherefores. I mentioned a few of the reasons why I'd been quiet on Flosstube, although I have still been stitching. And I did receive one delightful comment from someone saying that they were fed up with everybody's health issues and they were only here for the stitching. So that was a lovely comment to deal with. If you're not interested in me as a person or a little bit about me, then that's fine, just scroll on by. But I don't know about you, but I also, as well as looking at people stitching, I like to know a little bit about them, because I feel like it helps you to understand the community a little bit better and to get to know people. So I'm not a robot, I'm a human being, and I welcome people telling me and sharing about a little bit about their life as well. So that's that. So I have been busy with my stitching. I've also been busy with my paper crafting studio. Well, it's not just paper crafting actually, with my craft studio in Bradford in Idle Village. And I hosted a cross stitch day a couple of weeks ago, which was fabulous, on the 8th of November actually. So thank you to the ladies who attended the cross stitch day. And the next one is Saturday the 13th of December, and we have, oh, I'm just trying to think, 3 or 4 seats left. It's a lovely day, maximum of 10 people including myself. We stitch, we have cuppers, we have a treat from the local tea room. You can also purchase your lunch from there if you like to. And yeah, it's just a lovely low-key day. And I got lots of stitching done last time. I'm saying I got lots done, but you never get as much done, do you, as you intended. So we take all these things and I stitched on one thing. Anyway, it was just lovely to not be having to run the class and teach people anything. It was just nice to be sat there doing the stitching myself. So what have I got to share with you today? I've got two almost finishes, and when I say almost finishes, one of them has got all the cross stitching in, but I need to start the dreaded back stitch, and it's had loads and loads of love on Instagram, so I can't wait to show you that one. The other one has got maybe a handful of stitches, just random ones that I missed out for whatever reason to do, and some of the back stitch. So I've sort of put them to the side a little bit because I was getting a little bit fed up of back stitching. So anyone else like that, like me, I vow that I should do it. I did start one off, and as I stitched each piece, I back stitched it as well, and then I soon fell off the wagon doing that. So yeah, maybe in 2026 I do more back stitch as I go along. Anyway, so yeah, 2 almost finishes, 1 WIP that I've done a little bit of work on, and 1 new start. So just a little bit about how I stitch. I do have over 10 WIPs now, which when I first started I never thought I would get to double figures, and but I am. But what I tend to do is I tend to get hooked on one particular piece, and I like stitch on it for like 2-3 weeks solid and not touch anything else, and then I get a bit fed up of it, and then I go on to something else and I'm hooked on that for like a chunk of weeks, and then the same, and it's a bit of a cycle. So I don't do like a different thing every night. I'm not monogamous, so I'm a little bit in the middle, so hence why there's only one I've worked on. For the last month I've worked on four projects, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So shall I share the first one with you? Now, I've not been ironing getting my ironing board out of the cupboard is quite frankly a bit of an arduous task. I will do that, and I will wash this when I come to frame it. But here it is, and please remember that it does need the back stitching doing. But here is, oh, look at it on the screen, my London Snowfall. It's not too badly scrunched. My London Snowfall by Letistitch. I got this as a Christmas present from my in-laws. Well, they sent the money, I ordered it. I think my husband wrapped it last year, and it was my Christmas Day start. And I put my last cross stitch in last week on the 12th of November. So it's not finished. I've got a heck of a lot of back stitch to do. I actually think it looks okay without the back stitch, but I am going to do the back stitch. But from a distance, I think it looks rather nice. I hope you agree. I've had a lot of questions about this. It is Letistitch. I just got the full kit. It's with the Luca S threads, I believe. And yeah, I've loved it. I don't know if you want to see a little bit closer. Love the colours, the pinks, the blues. And I really love the ombre on the windows. Kudos to the designer who did this one, because it's absolutely beautiful. So I hope you love that one. I've loved stitching that, and then maybe I need like a back stitch weekend. Anybody want to join me? Maybe that's what we should start, like have a back stitch revolution and do a back stitch weekend or something, where everybody cheers everybody on to do back stitching. So that's one almost finish. And then I'll just get my other one. Now, oops, this one, I started this in September 2024. And I did it for a few weeks, and then I didn't touch it for some time. And then I started it back up again recently in the end of August, I think, early September. And it's Spread the Love, and it's an Emma Congdon one, and it was in a cross stitcher, I think it was a cross stitcher magazine last year. And it's going to go in our kitchen, and I have done the back stitch on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the jams, and on some of the others. But yeah, it's quite a big piece. It's probably the biggest one that I've finished. I have loved doing this, and I have loved stitching these individually. Now the peach preserve one, that there in the middle, that's where I started, and then I went up to the honey, and then we've got the marmalade. They're all been backstitched, all those three, and the lemon curd has, and the jam in the middle, the big one, you can see there's a couple of bits missing. There's also a couple of bits missing on the honey and the bee's wings, but I think that's about it. The rest is backstitch. You do need a lot of 746 colour DMC on this one, which is that creamy colour. That's just a little heads up if you were going to do this. I love the colours. You do need a couple of skeins of that. But yeah, this one was the last one that I did. And yeah, I mean, that pear one looks really nothing until you do the back stitch. Now, I did make a change. It was partly on purpose, partly because I didn't like it. But if you look at the, I don't know if you can see that. If you look at the marmalade, the little bits of thread, you know, like the little bits of the shredded marmalade, you know, the bits in it. What is it? You know, it's the peel. It's a bit of peel, isn't it? They were quite yellow. And I didn't like how they looked. They looked a bit like little worms swimming in the marmalade. I didn't like it. So I've done mine a bit of darker orange. You can see them a little bit better close up. They're a little bit more subtle. So that is that one. And again, I've got quite a bit. Actually, with this one, with the back stitch, once you get going, I think what I should do is just maybe do 1 jar a night on the back stitch and then do something else. Maybe I'll start that next week. Has anybody else stitched this one? I'd love to know. But yeah, this is going to go in our kitchen. I just think it's a perfect kitchen dining room design with a nice, I think I'm going to go for a pale blue frame, a bit like this colour here. That's what it shows in the magazine. So I can't remember where I was last month, but I will have popped a picture in of where I was when I did my Flosstube last month. So that's almost there. I'm not saying the finishes because they're not. I've called them almost finishes. I know that's probably not like the right way of doing it, but I do my own thing. So that's that one. And then another one I've worked on is in this little bag here. I just worked on this for a couple of, oh, I'd say 3 nights last week. These are ongoing. It's the Country Cottage Needleworks monthly mini village, and I'm in a little club with Megan Coffee Craft Fabrics, and you know, I started off really well January, got it all finished. February, still doing the February one. It might be ready for February 2026. So yeah, here it is. And this one is on Fabric by Megan, all kitted out with the Colourworks threads, all from Megan. Yeah, I stitched on this on Thursday, Friday and Saturday, I think. Yeah, there we go. And it's on even weave, 28 count even weave. I feel I can cope with that. I've not ever stitched anything on linen. I don't feel like I'm a linen kind of stitcher, although I am enjoying the even weave. So yeah, I never know how to hold this and where to pop out from round it, but there we go. So I did get quite a bit. I stitched this on Friday night whilst watching Children in Need. I think I got all this house done over here and some of the grass. But yeah, I am enjoying these. They're nice to just pick up and do a little bit. And it's a really good service, and all the edges are finished off, so you don't get any fraying, and all the fabrics match everything. The idea is when I stitch them all, I can interchange the frame each month and have it as a bit of a home decor piece in our hallway when you come in. So yeah, that's that one. I'm powering through because I've not got that much to show you. This will be, I would think it'd be less than half an hour. And then finally, I've got a new start. I don't need to put it in my board because it's on my Nerdtube. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen this. I started this on Sunday night. Sunday night? No, Saturday night, sorry. I started it on Saturday night. I was going to say it's my I'm a Celebrity start, but yeah, I started it on Saturday night. Basically, one of my lovely paper crafting customers, Anne, she was an avid cross stitcher, and over time she stopped because her eyesight's deteriorated and she can't do it anymore. So when I got my studio, she popped over one Saturday morning with a boot full of cross stitch supplies and said, did I want them? And I was like, yeah, please. But to be honest, on the morning when she came over, it was like, it was all going off because I had my brother-in-law and sister-in-law there. I think they had their dog there. No, they didn't that morning. And my husband was there. So there were 4 of us. We were cleaning, we were putting shelves up. cleaning windows, doing all sorts of jobs this was back in July, I think, June, July. And yeah, it was a bit frenzied when she turned up with all this stuff. So I helped her unload a car, and I literally like, oh, thank you, that's great, you know, and I put it all in a cupboard. And I didn't forget about it, but it was sort of back of the mind job. So when it was a cross stitch day, I got some of the magazines out to show the ladies, see if they wanted any of the magazines that she'd given me and anything like that. So some really old sort of Australian magazines, and some beading ones and things like that. But then I found this bag, and I'll be honest, I completely forgotten that she gave me, because it was all just a bit of a frenzy that morning. She gave me this bag, a full to the brim, big carrier bag from the range, I think it was, full of anchor threads. Now, I tend to use DMC, but hey, if it's coming to me for free, then I'll go with the anchor threads. And not only is there like every colour, but there's like, in some of them, there's more than one, and I never know if I say this right, skein. Anyway, there's more than one of them. So she was so super organised. I'm going to show you how she's got them in the bag. So she had them in those, you know, those big, they're not called jump rings, are they? Those big circle rings. Help me out in the comments, please. But so she had them all in those big rings. And so like these ones, they were all on, each one is in a bag like that, and they've all got a number on. So all the 200s were on this big ring, and all the 100s and 300s and everything, so organised. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is just absolutely insane. So I'd seen a couple of designs in magazines that I loved. I think the Cross Stitcher magazine, the most recent one, is one of the best ones that they've done for ages. There were like 3 patterns that I could have done from that magazine, and I've chosen to do this one. I don't buy it, I get it online on my iPad. So yeah, I kitted it up. I'd got some Ada that I could use, but I kitted it up from the anchor threads that Anne kindly gave me, and I'm like, oh, kid in a sweet shop. So absolutely thrilled to bits with those. I'll put a picture of it in here. I just feel I need to explain, because I've just seen them behind me, why I've got 3 random mugs on my shelf. Bear with me. But when I had my old studio from 2016 to 2021, it was like I dreamed of having that place. It was just the best. And I probably didn't realise at the time, once I'd been there a couple of years, I probably took it for granted. It was tough. I didn't cross stitch then. It was bigger than the place I've got now. And I'm not saying I'd give anything to be back there, because it had its flaws. It was a lot chillier than where I've got now. It didn't have like central heating like I've got now. It didn't have the lovely cafe over the road like I've got now. But it had a lot more space and room, and it was accessible. But I know it'd be a lot more money than what I'm paying for the one where I am now. So there's always pros and cons. But it was a sad day when I gave up my lease on it, because it was in 2021 January. No one knew what was going to be happening with COVID and everything. So I was not taking any income, because I was not running any classes. And it was just this massive thing hanging around my neck, you know. Rent was still having to go out every month. So, yeah, I cleared it out with the help of a lovely friend. And it was a sad day, but also a day to look forward. But those mugs, the 3 of the mugs, I saved some of the mugs. I tried to save some stuff. And the tables and my dresser and lots of things that I've got in my new studio now are from my old place. But yeah, so those 3 mugs there, they're just like a little bit sentimental. I'm just feeling the need to explain. Anyways, I digress then. So I've started a new pattern and it's called Christmas Village. I've popped a picture in, and it's a Doreen Jones design, although the magazine have credited someone else, so I don't know what's happening there. And it's pinks and blues and lovely greens, really, really nice. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, you know, when you get a design and you think, oh, I've got to do it. I've got to do it. But there's another lovely Emma Congdon one in there that I know Stitching Magic 111 is doing, Lindsay. She's going to start that soon. And I was toing and froing about that one. And then there's another one in the world of cross stitch, a New York one, like a snow globe, that I want to start as well. So I've now got lots of threads to choose from. So here is my start. It's 3 evenings worth. I hope you, oh, you can see a little house, some little houses, and some snow and a tree. There we go. It looks a little bit better when you hold it away. So yeah, this one unfortunately has got a lot of backstitch on it. But I think it's going to be absolutely super. And if you're stitching this one, I'd love to know, and I'd love to like cheer each other on and see how we're getting on. But this is my I'm a Celebrity stitch along. Do you have that thing where you remember stitching certain things and when you're watching certain programs? So now every time I'm stitching this, I mean, they're in the jungle and it's boiling. I'm stitching a snowy village. But yeah, it will be my bit sort of, I started it when I'm a Celeb, started-ish. So yeah, that's my Christmas village. And there's about 1,200 stitches in there so far. So yeah, really, really, really enjoying that. And that's all I've got in terms of projects to share with you. I don't have a lot of haul. I'm not spending too much on stitchy stuff at the moment. Don't need any threads. Because I like to get something for Christmas, which I've got my eye on something for Christmas. I will put a picture of it on here now if I remember to do it on the edit. It's a Luca S kit, and it's called Little Gift Shop, and I just love the colours, and it's not too pricey. I think it's under £25, so for the full kit, and I think that's great. So I'm going to get that as part of my Christmas present, and I think it's going to be my Christmas Day start. So the only thing I've had a few threads that I bought, some DMC threads. The only thing I've bought is my lovely friend, well, I haven't bought it, I put a bit of money towards it. My lovely friend Anne, a different Anne, gifted me a voucher in July, my birthday, for Little Dove and Little Dove Designs. And I do love some of the designs from there. I have done 2. I've done the companion piece to this one I'm going to show you, and I also did a garden full of flowers Sal last year. So with my voucher from my friend, I got the Tea and Gossip kit, which you get everything in. You get the threads, the fabric and everything, and then obviously the chart. Because one of my first stitches when I came back to stitching, now this one has got some back stitching on it which has come undone. This was my second stitch, I think, when I started stitching again, and I was still sort of relearning and finding better techniques and better ways of doing things. So it's the companion piece to this one, and these are going to go in our kitchen too. And that one says, first I drink the coffee, then I do the things. And I've just got a bit of backstitch come out on the R over there. So I then will have the tea, and I'm going to get some of those nice, I've got some nice chunky, you know, those reclaimed like shells of that chunky wood. I'm going to have one with some nice cups on and one with some chunky mugs, and I'm going to have my little picture on them. So thank you, Anne, for the voucher. And yes, that's a nice easy stitch, that one. I will be starting that soon, I think. So yeah, I've got the I can't really show the chart, can I? So you get all the printouts with everything, and then I've got the actual kit in a little envelope there. So yes, I'm looking forward to starting that. And then finally, oh, I'm just under my half an hour. I've got a few shout outs to do. I've not had a lot of time to watch people, but I've been sort of religiously watching these people. And the first person I'm going to give a shout out to is someone who is just the cutest wee lady from Scotland, and it's Pam from Ditsy Daisy Crafts. And she just, you know, I bet hundreds of people say this about her. She's just such a supportive part of the cross stitch community. She's just so lovely, so lovely, and she's always up to loads of WIP. She's got so many, which I think I've just watched her Flosstube this morning, and I think she'd worked on 14 designs this month already. We're only on the 18th of November, so she's brilliant. She's brilliant. And her daughter worked in Epcot last year, but we didn't get to see her. We tried to go look for her, but we couldn't see her. So yeah, and I just love watching Pam, and she's so generous and supportive to people. So I always give her a shout out. And then another lovely lady is Sarah from Cross Stitch Sarah, and I always like to watch Sarah's. She always has the neatest, like, she irons everything before, and she always has the best, like, the best grime guards and bags, and I love looking at her, like, accessories as much as I do a cross stitch. But one reason why I wanted to give her a shout out is because she follows my Paper Haven Instagram, which is my studio, and it's no word of a lie, she likes everything. She gives me a like on everything I post, and that's so nice and supportive, when, especially when she's not a paper crafter, she's a cross stitcher. So I'm super grateful for that. Thank you, Sarah. And then two other channels that I've been loving watching are Stitching Magic 111, which is Lindsay. I think we have a similar taste in cross stitch designs, so I've enjoyed watching Lindsay's channel, and she's starting the New York one, which I want to do. I think she said she went to New York for her 50th, and she was disappointed because they didn't get to do the ice skating, so she's going to stitch that snow globe one. And if you don't know, me and my husband got married in New York in 2022 in Central Park, so New York is really special and important to us. We hope to go back for our 5th anniversary. So that's Lindsay. And finally, Nikki from Nikki Knacks Crafts. Now, Nikki used to be a paper crafter. I'm sure she still can be classed as a paper crafter, but she used to be a Stampin' Up demonstrator like myself. So we've got that little connection there. And if you ever want to do it again, Nikki, you know where to come. I'd love to have you in my team. But she's got a lot of the Stampin' Up card behind her, a bit like I have here, although Nikki's is a lot neater than mine. But I love watching her Flosstubes, and she's really supportive and always gives me likes and comments on Instagram too. So I've managed to hit under 30 minutes, and I never said at the beginning, thank you if you're returning and all that jazz. Thank you. Hello, if you're new, please do subscribe. I hope it won't be another month before I do another Flosstube. I didn't really have much to share with you, I didn't feel, so I didn't want to do one a couple of weeks ago, but I'm hoping I'll be back sooner next time. I'm still stitching every evening, and I'm absolutely, and I stitch, to be honest with you, I'm doing quite a bit of stitching on a morning when I get up. I'm getting up quite early at the moment with my body clock, so I like to do a little bit of stitching, breakfast stitching. I'm loving my stitching, absolutely loving my stitching. So thank you for watching. Thank you in advance of any likes, comments, subscribes, and I will see you next time. Thanks again. Bye.